Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender in Europe, game designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. We are getting ready to go into January of 1940. This is a campaign series that I am calling the C.U.C.U campaign, and that stands for Cripple UK and Collapse USSR. And we will just go ahead and get started here. I'll start up my timer. This is a multiple turn thing. Hopefully we will be able to get them all in. And away we go. In the Declarations of War phase, there were none. Economies are straightforward. Again, there's no strategic warfare, so we don't need to do anything about that. We go into the strategic movement for the Axis. I don't remember what he did. I think he brought an infantry over to Germany from somewhere. And I moved the French behind the Somme. Soviets didn't have one. We are in the actions subphase for the Axis. It's severe here up in Denmark. So he goes ahead and assaults the Danish unit. So he's -2 for going across the strait. So he's a 0 to -2. He rolled a 4. I rolled a 5. -2 is a 3, so I held. And then he ran up my French aircraft. Not sure why. I think that's his armor. Might be going after my fleet here. Yeah, he's going after my fleet. And then he was done. So I'm not going to bother doing the attack on them. Because the worst he can do is get a retreat, then flipped, and then I'm back to being there. So, Western Action subphase. Don't know why I moved that into Sri Lanka. This is a mistake on the Greeks' part. This Greek here, he should be, this guy here, he should actually be here to prevent the overrun of Greece. You'll see that in a little while. Just did my supply subphase. We're into the no supply phase. Replacements. In the west. So we're doing the Axis. You know, his typical thing. We do the west. Do my typical thing. We get through the replacements phase. And I think we're going to be in the diplomacy phase here real quick. Upgrades, mobilization. Did the Axis have anything to build? Yes, the Axis had things to build, so I go ahead and build this airplane. Now, as I pointed out earlier, this airplane here is actually not legal for the Eastern Garrison. We both missed it. I don't think it was... He could have based it here, and it would have been legal. It's just up here he's not legally based. So he built his airplane down there, and infantry in Hanover. And the west, I don't think I had anything. So we're into the diplomacy phase. The Axis pull another no event. I went, That's interesting. So, again, the British try to stack the cup for the Soviets, hoping to get, if they can get a political success, maybe they can get rid of Romania or put a pro marker in Turkey or something. That's my goal there. And instead, I pulled an area seized. So I go to, sure, I think I took Karelia. Yeah, so I went ahead and took Karelia. Just putting down control markers so I remember who I am on my side. I don't think I've been, yeah, I have been putting them in here, but I didn't put the Greek in the little who's ally box yet. We go to end of turn, so it's just going to be stuff coming off the tracks. So that was a fairly quick turn. We go into February. It'll be a weather die roll. 4-3-3, so that's severe, poor, poor. So it gets a little better weather up here. And we don't need to have that up, I don't think. There's no declarations of war. Economies are just what they've always been. I'm not going to bother to bring that up. We get to strategic movement, and he brings something. What did he bring in here? Oh, he brought his other armored unit back from down on the border with Yugoslavia. And I put the French back up behind Lille. Couldn't make up my mind where I wanted that Frenchman. So we're into actions phase for the Axis. Moved his infantry into that position where the armored used to be. What does he do here? And then he gets some units out of the city so that he can put stuff in there, because he's going to have, if you look at his thing, he's got another infantry unit to build. And then he moves, since he has 3 airplanes in the east, and again, like I said, the guy in Danzig is illegal. But he flies that to there. And he is -1, and I'm -4. 6, actually, for the French. He rolls a 3, takes me out for 2 for only 1 sortie. And then he will attack, he's attacking Alborg here, from here. So he should be net of 9 +2, and he's +2. Again, he's got himself at +4. Oh, because of the isolation. He rolls a 5 +4 is a 9. I rolled a 7, so I'm not DD'd, but I am flipped. Or no, a 7 to a 9. I actually hold without being flipped. So I got some decent luck there. Now we're going after the Denmark guy, and I go ahead and throw the ground support there so that I'm only -1. And he is 2, 3, 4, should be -3. It's +1 to -1. -1, did he not? 1, 2, 3, 4, -3. He should be +1, not -1. Why he's -1? Maybe he didn't use his airplane. So he rolled a 1, and I rolled a net of a 2. I think he's trying to intercept my supply out of Alborg. And he rolled a 6 -2 for the airplane sitting on the island there. So he got a 4, and I got a 1. So my convoy took 2. And then, where's that, my fleet? That was my fleet took 2, and then my convoy, he rolled a 4 -3, which is a 1. So I take 1 sortie, and I get a supply through. And then I go again. He attacks at -3. It doesn't stop me, so I go up to an extra sortie for each, but both are in supply. And it's just the British doing their thing. Soviets move some guys up. Now, I think at this point, since we're going into March, I went ahead and removed everything that was at 6 sorties, and I said, I've done my job. I'm in supply for March, you know, assuming I'm probably going to get eliminated at that point. And so I took off the airplane and the 2 fleets and stuff so that I will have them in March. I'll be able to build them in the mobilization phase, and by May I'll have a decent number of sorties on everybody. So now we're doing replacements. Oops. And I think that's it. Do my 2 Western replacements. Now we are into mobilization. He builds another infantry. The Soviets built an infantry as well from when they took Karelia, and they go ahead and put it in Vyborg. And oops, back up. We're in the diplomacy phase. The Germans pull an area seized. The Russians are like, thank you. I believe I take Estonia. And then the British pulled. This is probably a mistake on the British part. They probably shouldn't have pulled. They probably should have gone ahead and put an area seized and a no event back in. Just reloaded the cup, but I pulled a political failure. And now he had some choices to make. And I believe he goes ahead and says, let's get Italy starting to lean my way. And then the Russians put an area seized and a no event back in the cup. And we go into end of turn is just markers coming back. And we're into weather. And now we are rolling for March. And he rolls a 1, which is poor, a 4, which is severe, and a 4, which is poor. So, boom. And then we'll get these things off the thing. I don't need to see diplomacy right now. So he's sitting on severe. We'll just do production, stays the same. The Russians are actually at 12 factories now. The Germans go ahead and strategically move. Or no, they're move an airplane and they're armored back to the west. I think we skipped strategic movement again. So anyway, that's what he does there. I don't think we had any strategic moves. So we are in, where the hell are we? Action sub phase. This was probably a mistake on my part. I probably should have moved forward a space to go into no supply, because I gave him how did I get to no supply? I should be at low supply. What turn are we in? In March. I'm confused. Soviets move up some people. Should not be at low supply. I don't know why I'm at no supply. I think we've got something wrong there. But anyway, I took him off because he was at no supply. The Dane moved, since he had moved that guy away, I went and moved onto the island just for form's sake. And this is the Axis, replacing all their aircraft. British replaced their stuff. Did the Soviets have anything to build this turn? Yes, they did. The Axis did not. And in the West, I spent my 11 points here to bring all these guys back onto the board. Put the airplane in Le Havre, and the fleet and the convoy in Med. And then we are in the diplomacy phase. The Germans pulled a no event again. So odds have been going very badly against him for all the stuff he has in the cup. The West went ahead and tried to pull, seeing if they could get a political success, which they could not. And in the Russians, also pulled a no event. So he has 3 no events, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives for himself. So the Germans are probably going to get something next turn. So we move to the turn. There was nothing to, we don't get anything for the next couple turns. So we're into April. And I'm not sure. I think I was showing him where I could go with the Greeks. And that was the end of this turn. So that's the end of the log file. That's the end of the 1940 sequence. So that was January through March. And we will start with April in the next video. So there you have it. I slowed the Germans down. I'm not sure we did this right. Maybe I was out of supply in February. But in any event, that's the January through March of 1940 turns. As always, I'm Jan40. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit the like button so the algorithms on YouTube will keep this up for people to find when they come searching for unconditional surrender videos. And until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.